You start telling me what is going on right now, or I am not going to be able to protect you.
Oh, come on.
You have no authority here. This is Taiwan.
Formosa Betrayed is set in the early 80s, and it's basically the story of the murder of a Taiwanese American professor.
Yes.
And it turns out that this professor was being spied upon by his own students, and those students were being hired by the government of Taiwan at the time. Through a series of events, an American FBI agent ends up going to Taiwan to chase the killers. He finds out the killers are actually Chinese mafia, hired by the government to kill political dissidents in the United States.
This was found here at the crime scene. These cigarettes are unavailable for purchase here in the States. I thought that the evidence suggested something somewhat outside my jurisdiction. In this case, where you have a complicated story that's unfamiliar to American audiences, they've made the hero a wide-eyed American, so he can take you through the story.
Don't use your phone. They're listening.
Who's listening?
You really see the whole journey through the eyes of James Van Der Beek.
Get out.
You don't like girls?
I don't like horse. Come on. Get out.
His quest is to find the truth and to bring justice to these people. And he finds out that there's this whole layer and a whole level of things that goes way, way beyond what he's ever expected or ever understood.
Government here is highly dependent on us.
No, the government here, and ours, I might add, are only concerned with making sure this island doesn't become subject to a communist takeover. And that's it.
Oh, come on. I don't buy for 1 second that you believe that. You're not stupid and you're not naive.
I love the script. I thought it was a terrific story, one that certainly needed to be told.
And to be true to yourself, huh? Do the right thing. Only you know what that is. I think there's a tremendous sense of responsibility. Not so much for us, but for them, the producers, the people who have put the money up to make this movie, want this movie to be significant.
As a filmmaker, you're often getting projects that don't have any kind of world perspective. So when you do get something that has a larger view, it's actually quite a treat because you have the ability to affect people.
What's 228?
February 28, 1947. Chiang Kai-shek's army killed 20,000 Taiwanese in 1 week. It's illegal to talk about it.
What did I say?
Independence.
The scene that we were inspired by was an event in Kaohsiung, and we had about 800 extras, almost all from the Bangkok area, but also a great number of Taiwanese people that had come out in order to be extras in the scene. And it was quite an incredible experience because in the scene, all 800 people are shouting independence in Taiwanese. And to hear 800 people shouting something in unison is quite moving for me. To have a group of people all be fighting for the same thing is an incredible thing, whether you're documenting it for a film or whether you're reporting news.
What I guess I would hope people would take away from the movie, it sort of doesn't matter who we are or where we live, this sort of basic yearning in all of us, I think, is simply be able to be free, which is to say, to be heard, to be able to speak, and to not be punished for it. I think we struggle with it in this country too, but it's obviously a huge struggle in a place like Taiwan.
All right, gentlemen, shall we?
I'm sorry you had to see that. Communist spy. You can imagine all the problems we have here.
I always say that the movie is really about two themes. One is the theme of identity, and the second is the theme of justice, which of course in movie terms means lack of identity and injustice, which are kind of themes I think that are very universal.
Wynn's an American citizen. His widow is an American citizen.
Do you have proof that Wynn was assassinated by the Taiwanese government? Because this is still the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and we deal in proof. And if you're going to create an international incident, you damn well better have something more than just your word to go on.
You know, there's a little history in here. And the human relationships in it are really well written. And then they're going to have the exotic Far East.
Our Jake goes off to to Taiwan, and he is befriended by Ming.
Don't.
Ming is, a person who is struggling for, his country's identity and independence, and working from the inside. That's the relation. The emotion is what people are going to connect to, because that's really what this is about.
It's my custody.
The Chinese say we are their brothers. But if we are brothers, why do they treat us like this?
It's important to me that this movie goes out to the widest audience possible, that people go see this movie because they're fascinated by this subject matter and by this part of the world, but they want to see a good story and they want to be entertained, watching James Van Der Beek run around in Taipei.
I think everybody on the cast and crew has dedicated way above and beyond the call of duty in terms of what's usually required for a film, because people have responded so passionately to the material and are big believers in what the message of the film has to say.
I think it's an important movie. It's not just, it's a popcorn movie, of course. It's also a movie that I think will really make people ask a lot of questions. And that's I think, the best movie making is, right? The best movie making are those movies that really make you think afterwards, that sit with you for days, weeks, months afterwards. And I really hope that that's the type of movie we're making.